Hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I'm posting my next video. So today's video, I wanted to talk about what I would say to my younger self. And honestly, for those of you that have watched my positive talks and a lot of my YouTube videos, you'll hear me say that a lot of the content I create is what I wish that someone had created and given to me at a younger age. Because I feel like when you're part of the LGBT community, a lot of times you feel very alone. And back when I was younger, there wasn't such a thing as YouTube, Facebook, and all these other social media platforms for connecting with people. So for me, I feel like it's a little bit more complex to kind of create a message kind of crafted for the younger me, but I'm going to do my best because I feel like everything I've ever created is kind of like this huge message that I've created for myself at a younger age. But I think that one of the biggest things that I would tell myself is I want you to realize that all the people that you see that you think have it so much better off than you are struggling as well. And there's a lot of people out there that really want to be your friend and really do love you for everything that you are. Honestly, I think that at the age of 15, I still didn't really know who I was as a person. I don't really think that I had wrapped my head around what being gay was. And there were so many people that were just so willing to be so accepting of me, but I was in this stage of denial. And I mean, it's been a journey to get to where I am now, and I'm thankful for every moment because I wouldn't be here without all of those moments. But I can't help but to feel that there were probably lots of moments that I allowed to pass me by because I was too scared to let people know who I really was. I feel like when I was in high school, I didn't give it my all when it came to theater and show choir because I was afraid that if people saw that I actually loved those things, that they might think that I'm gay, or they might be able to tell that I was gay before I wanted them to know. So I think that it's really kind of my big message to myself is to not care what other people think and realize that there are so many people that you envy and you wish that you were like, that are looking at you and wishing the exact same thing. I also feel like if I had told my younger self that I would be doing public speaking for a career, I feel like they wouldn't believe me because I was so extremely shy in high school. Like, I had trouble making friends, and the ones that I did have, I clung on to because it wasn't easy for me to talk to people. And I still feel like that little boy is inside of me because there are so many times where I'll say something, and if I don't get a very positive response, maybe the person didn't hear me or they didn't understand what I said, that anxious little kid goes, oh God, they don't like me. So I feel like I just want that kid to know that there are so many people out there that will love you. And at the end of the day, you're never going to have everyone in the world love you. So you might as well do what you love doing, and your family will eventually come around and accept you for being who you are. And you are going to move on in life and do some pretty amazing things that, honestly, even now as an adult, as someone who's gone through some of those things, still can't believe that I got to experience those. So I think that it's so important for my younger self to just know that it's all worth it. All the things that you do, all the friendships that you create over the years, like, they come back around and kind of support you when you need them the most, which is so extremely crazy because a lot of times I was trying to be helpful and be a good friend to other people because I felt like if I didn't, they wouldn't want to be my friend, which I think is a horrible reason to do things for friends. I think you should do it because you love your friends and you want to be there and support them. But I was in a very insecure place, and I felt like if I didn't do those things, that these people wouldn't want to be my friend. Another thing I wish I could go back and tell my younger self was, I know being a big brother is super important and your sisters do look up to you as a role model, but you are allowed to mess up. You are allowed to experience life. I felt like most of my childhood, I didn't take risks, and I also tried to play this perfect person just because I knew that I was a role model for my sisters. And I felt like if I messed up, if I did something wrong, that would like ruin their life and their outcome as well. So I had a lot of weight on my shoulders that I wish I could just go back and kind of lift off and be like, hey, like have fun, do things with your friends, because there were so many different times where I got invited out to hang out with people towards the end of my high school career, and I chose not to because I felt like I was letting my sisters down, because that meant that they had to stay at home by themselves and kind of deal with the drama that was our childhood by themselves without me. And honestly, there were so many years that I just felt so much guilt, feeling like I didn't do enough. And as you can see, there's a book here called Toxic Parenting. And after I read that book, there was just like this moment where this light bulb went off in my head. And it was just like, you took on so much of the world as a kid, and you spent so much of your childhood trying to be an adult for your sisters and be a supporting adult role for your mom, who was going through a lot. And you took on battling your dad as a kid as if you were an adult. And I just wish that I could go back and say, hey, like, be a kid. Like, don't let all of this stuff stress you out, because I think in those moments I felt like all of it was so important and all of it mattered. And at the end of the day, like, I could have continued to enjoy my childhood and I would have been perfectly okay. I also feel like I need to go back and tell my younger self that when it came to what happened to you as a kid, when you were 5 years old, like, you're not alone in any way, shape, or form. There are so many other people out there that have been through similar things, and your mother understands that situation so much better than you'll ever know. I wish that I had come out about that sooner. I think that that was a really, really heavy weight that was on my shoulders at that time. If I could have only shared that sooner, I feel like that could have started the healing process sooner. And honestly, since I posted my YouTube video, The Different Coming Out Story, there have been so many beautiful people who have reached out to me and helped me heal, as well as me helping them heal from their trauma. And I think that that could have been something that I shared with my mom at an earlier stage. I looked back at some of the counseling notes that my counselor took on me when I was younger, and I was hiding so much, just trying not to share that fact. I was making up so many different things, trying to hide that story about what had happened to me at 5 years old, because I didn't feel like my family would accept me if they knew what had happened to me. And it's crazy to think like that's where a child's mind is, because now looking back as an adult, I'm just like, wow, like, I struggled and suffered for so long on my own, because not even my sisters knew about what had happened to me that Christmas with my uncle. I just feel like that kid in me needed me. Like, they needed the person that I've become to kind of be there for them and be that strong adult figure that really does care about them. And that's something that I do with so many different people. And I think that because of everything that happened to me in my childhood, I just became a person that didn't want that to ever happen to someone else. I never wanted another person to feel like they were alone in this world. And thank God social media exists, because it's been able to connect so many LGBT people with other people in the community that can really kind of help them understand themselves better, because I was completely lost for so many years. And it wasn't so much that I knew what gay people were and I didn't know if I was gay. I knew I was something, but I didn't have any of the language or knowledge to kind of label myself or study more about who I was, because at that moment I could see that I was different from everyone else around me. and I just didn't understand why. I remember so many times crying in the shower, just like asking God to wash the gay off of me. At that time, of course, I didn't know what it was, but I just wanted to be normal like everybody else. And I guess the ultimate message for my younger self is you were born to stand out. You were born to be different. Your heart that everyone tells you won't get you anywhere is honestly like the one thing that you have that is literally pulling you through towards your dreams. And don't ever wish that you didn't care as much as you do. I know that to this day, I still wish that sometimes, but your caring heart is what is carrying you to your future. And I think it's so important to realize that no matter how hard life gets, like, don't let it harden your heart. Your heart is so important, and being able to care and love for pretty much anyone in this world is a rare gift. A lot of people do not have that capability. So don't let that ever like harden. I think that that is like the biggest message that I have for my younger self. But hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. I would love to hear what you all would say to your younger self. And if you haven't already, check out my other social medias, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.